coming off of a win against the Green Bay Packers that they won 10-7, in which the defense looked amazing, but the offense continued to frustrate, including having A.J. Brown ask, how many times can we expect this defense to bail him out? I got an answer for you, A.J. Every freaking time. The defense, since getting Phillips, showed up again on Sunday Night Football against the number 2 offense in the league. Since that, they've allowed 8 points a game in their last 2 games. And I think we got to say it, since the acquisition of Jalen Phillips, the Eagles have the best defense in the NFL. All right, guys, I can't wait. I'm so excited. We are back. Let's break down a new thing that I used to have, play of the day. And so here we are. This play happened, 1st and 10, on their own 26-yard line. It's in the first quarter still, coming off of the Eagles not able to do things. What you see now is the Lions, they come out with a couple tight formations. They got these wide receivers, so we call it tight, right here, which just means those wide receivers are bunched. You're going to see these cornerbacks for the Eagles, at least up here. Now, Quinion is back, but you're going to see these corners really, really uptight. But what this does is, right, what this does is now you're going to see this defensive line, and as we see, this is the difference. You got Phillipson down here, you got Carter right here, and then you got Jordan Davis here. I can't quite see who's up top, but it's probably Hunt, Nolan, or Graham. All of them are doing a good job. These guys now know that they can just come up and look for the pressure. But this is what the Eagles do so well. They don't just go for the pressure. They build a little bit of a stopping point, and these guys get their hands up. And that's what Carter and Davis do so well. And in fact, on this play and in this game, Davis, 3 deflections, 3 batted balls, tied for the most for a defensive lineman all season. What makes that crazy is Carter is the one normally making those plays, and this is where we want you to key in right here. It's Davis making a huge play. Run the clip, big guy. And this is just incredible because what Davis does, man, I mean, he just gets that deflection. You see Coop with the interception off of the deflection, and then him take it all the way to the 10-yard line. Now, does the Eagles offense do anything with that opportunity? No, not at all. But there was something else I wanted you to see with this play, right? Because we all like to make jokes like, oh, you know, Goff sucks, this, that, the other, especially after last night where he goes out and he's 14 for 37. He looked cold and afraid, and I'm going to make that piece on the Lions later. But where he's looking, I forget who it was, I'm sorry, but if you check up here up top, what you're going to see is one of these guys runs like this little route. It's open, and that's where Goff's eyes are trying to go. But the problem is look at this guy just right in the way of that, and you'll see exactly what I mean. He has an open guy. Bond is trying to run over to stop it, and just the deflection causes all of that to not work. And we're going to run it from a different angle, but if you see that, this play is so huge. These defensive linemen forced so many batted balls, and just look at this. Because you got, first off, you got Jalen Carter over here. He's spinning around on this guy, causing him havoc. And then you just have Davis getting the hands up. And again, Coop's awareness, he's down here somewhere. That's not Coop, that's Reed, don't worry. But that awareness for a deflected ball to go over there is incredible. And Goff, where he throws the ball, he's looking for these little underneath patterns, right? Like he's not a big go down the field guy. He's looking for you underneath. But that is one of the strengths of this Eagles defense. Is those underneath patterns. They even do creative things to get them open, but it's tough when you got guys like, you know, Davis and Carter in here deflecting every pass. That makes it tough. And Goff isn't an extremely short quarterback, but it just makes it tough because those are the angles he needs. He can't run. He can't get outside of the pocket. Remember, this is number 2 offense in the league. They're very efficient. They move the ball, and the Eagles, again, just having none of it out there. And as we run the clip, you're going to see it. It's just Davis, just deflection. Just he jumps to do that. He gets hit down. I mean, that's just a crazy play. And that's why the Eagles' defense right now looks like one of the best in the NFL, if not the best. What is up, guys? Welcome to the Lumia Sports Podcast. This is our channel. Please check it out. We have videos and we have playlists describing every single team. So give it a look, give us a sub, give us a like, and give us a comment. We appreciate you guys watching. Now back to the episode. And Eagle fans, I know right now it's frustrating to watch this team play sometimes. I've kind of come to grips with the offense is just not going to be there. But defensively, at least you have a unit to hang your hat on. And when you look at the standings, you also have the win-loss record. They are 8-2, still leading the conference. And when you really look, I mean, the Rams are seemingly the only team that can really kind of give them a push for that at the 2 seed at 8-2. But even with the Rams, the big thing with the Rams is the Eagles have a tiebreaker over them, so they played them head-to-head. So if they end up with the same amount of wins and losses, the Eagles would win that tiebreaker. And as we know, the number 1 seed, super important. That means you get home field advantage and the only bye in each individual conference. So that is what these teams are playing for right now. It used to be 2. They made the advantage now 1, and I think the Rams in Philadelphia, what we've seen from them is if you play either one of those teams in those environments, even the Rams, we might think of them just because LA, but LA will ride for a winner. So unless you have a top fan base, you don't really want to play the Rams, especially a professional unit. And the Eagles, I mean, home field advantage, we kind of know what it is, right? But that specifically, when you look at these other teams, the Bears, they will play soon, and we'll break down the schedule. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they're kind of falling back from home field advantage. They already beat them. Seattle, haven't played them, so that doesn't matter. But these teams now, specifically now the Lions are falling back. They're kind of thinning out a little bit in the NFC with how many teams are at the top, whereas the AFC, if you check out some AFC videos, you'll see that they're a lot more kind of top-heavy right now with a lot more teams with 2 losses. Well, maybe not a lot more, maybe 1 more. I think it's still Broncos, Colts, Patriots. But the NFC, it looks like for this week, Eagles, Rams, and you got to say Bears. I mean, the Bears just keep being there. Do we believe in them? And they're minus 6 point differential. And you know what I mean? And the fact that sometimes it can look a little sketchy, I don't know, but they are there. And the Eagles are going to play them soon in a game that, honestly, at this point, can help decide the number 1 seed in the conference, as a lot of the Eagles games have. Now, when you look at the division-wise, I mean, it's over. It's a wrap. But let's just show it because, let's laugh at them, man. I mean, the Cowboys, I had a Cowboys fan tell me that it was going to get dicey, that we were going to lose back-to-back games to the Lions and the Cowboys, and it hurt because this guy's my friend. He'll probably be on the pod one day, but that was just silly. I don't know what bro was talking about with that one. It's over. I mean, look at this. This is light work for us, guys. This division stinks. I mean, the Cowboys suck. Commanders are worse. And the Giants are on their second head coach, and Jameis is trying to make it at least a little entertaining for them. But, yeah, division over wraps. These guys suck, man. They like to talk about us. They're terrible. Moving on, though, when you look at the schedule, see how we got here. We beat the Cowboys. And this is just what I mean. It can be frustrating, and we will talk about those frustrations. However, when you go out, you beat the Cowboys, whatever. The Cowboys stink, but the Chiefs by 3. Now, the Chiefs are 5-5. They're not great, but you had to go beat them, and you might have started a little spiral for them, hopefully, as they continue to lose games. The Rams, that game was huge, coming from behind, down 26-7, getting the field goal block and winning that game to maybe to right now have the tiebreaker for home field is huge, because imagine you lose that game, they win it. That means they would have one more win than you and a tiebreaker, a disaster. You go out there, you beat the Buccaneers. That's huge for tiebreaker purposes. You lose to the Broncos. The Broncos right now, maybe gave them confidence, but whatever. And they are a 9-2 football team, and they have one of the best defenses in the league. So losing that game, even in the moment, the letdown, you didn't want to lose that lead. That sucks. Giants game, every team has an aberration, and that was literally their Super Bowl. I mean, they had the coach running into the blue tent trying to save his job. Throw a kid out there with some concussions. And then you get a couple games to right the ship. Vikings, the defense started to show up a little bit. Giants, just all in out easy. And then you come off with a bye, and you play 2 tough teams in the Packers and the Lions. You go out there, offense doesn't look great, hasn't looked great in a couple weeks. But You win that. You win those games. You shut them down. Neither one of those teams touching double digits is crazy off of the bye. And remember, that bye also signaled the addition of Jalen Phillips, who's been huge to this defense, adding physicality, adding the ability to stop the run and pass out there. I mean, he had some hits on Goff. They only had 2 sacks, but the hits on Goff were huge, and we will break them down. But when you look at the schedule going forward, what you're going to see is you get the Cowboys up next on Fox. Can't take them lightly. That's going to be their Super Bowl, and we're going to get them in Dallas. You get the Chicago Bears. That's a weird game on a Friday, 3 o'clock. It is at home, which I like. You get the Chargers, who, hey, look, the Chargers are 7-4, even though they look a little weird. They lost again, a little wonky. They lost again this weekend. Don't really care. So just lock in, and down the stretch, maybe Raiders, maybe the Commanders are completely folded at that point, and you get a little respite. But for the Eagles, just we know what they got to work on, and we know what the strength is of the team right now. You just got to take solace in that, and 8-2, and go forward. All right, guys, in my favorite segment, we love to scour our comment section on our previous videos and shout out our comment of the week. However, on this one, nothing from the Eagles fans. Now, to be fair, I posted it really late. I had to rewatch the game. It was posted on Friday. We're going to get better with the postings. This one will be up on Monday, and I need you guys to get in the comments, shout us out. We will shout you out. I got to say, man, comment section gets a little wild. People have been criticizing me, and they're going to get comment of the week. So whether you like it, don't like it, shout us what you like, what you agree with, what you disagree with, and we will shout you out. Now, this Eagles defense, I talked about them a lot, right? The D-line is great. One other thing, just real quick to mention, I know I kind of throw it away. Coming into this game, the Lions were averaging 29 points a game. Me and my boy Rod had a discussion saying that the offense would have to pick it up. But this defense, I mean, now, did the Lions do some silly stuff? Yes. They went for every 4th down. We appreciate it, but we stopped every one. 0 for 4 on 4th down. So to do that to that team, huge. They tried to run up the middle with Gibbs. That didn't work. They tried to throw it, and Goff was just getting, my friend liked this term, peppered, man. He was getting popped out there, hit hard. Didn't look like he wanted to be out there, and that's what the defense, I mean, Jordan Love didn't quite look like he looked, but Jordan Love looked flummoxed for sure, and Vic with these confusing coverages, and now you have a pass rush on the back end of that. It is crazy. Quinyon on Amara was insane. I mean, let's look it up. I don't remember Amara having, I know Jameson had a huge touchdown, but Amara is normally a devastating receiver and a guy who makes a lot of plays out there. But this game, they would try to go to him, and Quinyon, just a lot of deflections on those passes. He seemed to be, all over him. I don't know if he was shadowing him, but it kind of felt like it. And you look at Amara, 2 catches, 42 yards. That's a great game told Amara too. And it's funny because I'm just now thinking of, their offensive weapons. Now, they didn't have Laporta. So again, another game where they're not playing a tight end. Maybe that helps. But I just like what this defense is doing. And when you go over the deflections, Quinyon, 2 deflections. Jordan Davis, 3 deflections. Cooper DeJean, 2 deflections. Jalen Carter, 2 deflections. And then you go over the fact that that's 10 deflections as a team, right? So 10 passes just getting batted away. One of those was a pick, but that's 10 incompletions forced. And then 7 other times you're hitting Jared Goff. You're just affecting everything he's doing from the front end to the back end to where he looked like he couldn't get anything going. The other thing, too, I got to give a shout out, man. First off, Nakobe Dean, a monster. I told you guys weeks ago that Nakobe was back. And this guy, I mean, I almost made the play of the game. One of the plays where he blitzed, just absolutely annihilated Goff and hit the crap out of him, sacked him on that 3rd down. But this one was a turnover. I wanted to give Jordan Davis some love for tying a record in a single game this season with those batted passes, and it went for a pick. But Nakobe Dean has been absolutely flying. Not only has he been blitzing, but he was our best defense against Gibbs out there, who was just cooking us in the receiving game. Gibbs had 100 yards. He's just a tough guy to stop. But the good thing was you didn't let him go off for a touchdown. Jameson got a touchdown on you deep. beating Adoree Jackson. But I got to be honest, even Adoree Jackson, tight coverage at big points, big deflections, he definitely stepped up, and a pass rush helps him because now he doesn't have to defend for as long. So it's really the domino effect of Jalen Phillips just getting a little closer on that side. Now Carter and Davis just get to be a little bit closer to deflections, to hits, to pressures. Hunt is the explosive guy right now. Him and Nolan making plays, and those guys are kind of, and there's a rotation going as well. But remember, the Lions, a top running offense in the league. This game, 21 rushes, 74 yards. This Lions team posed a lot of potential problems, and the Eagles' defense wasn't having any of it. And it was, I just got to say, like, I hope this isn't homerism, but yeah, Detroit, number 7 run offense in the league. One of the best defensive performances I've seen all season. It was extremely impressive stuff. Now, the Lions' offensive line, their fans have told me they have problems there. They can't run the ball, all those things. I hear that. But they were number 2 coming in and averaging 130 rushing yards. You hold them to 74, right? Goff had the number 1 completion percentage in the league at 74%. He hit 37% in this game. I mean, it was a show from this defense. And it made up for, oh my gosh, this offense is awful. And it's just terrible. Here's the problem with this. Here's the problem, right? Jalen Hurts missing passes. He missed a touchdown to Saquon. He missed a Goddard throw up the seam as well. He's missing open dudes. I love him. I think he's the best. I think that there is an element to him being like, hey, I would rather throw this thing 5 yards overhead than even hit these passes. I think that's a part of it. I think he's being extremely cautious with the ball, and I think they are just trying to win in this certain way. It's working. It scares you because you wonder, okay, now if an offense does get going, can we put up points? Like, you don't want to be in a situation where you can't score, right? Like, Hurts 14 for 28. Got to be better. There was open stuff out there. He wasn't hitting. I know we like to play Patullo, and I do think they were running it kind of up and down a little much. Saquon, 26 rushes, 83 yards. Not really effective. 3.7 yards a carry, 40 rushes, 148. I mean, it looks so much better, feels so much better if they could run the ball. Now, here's the thing. Bigsby, 4 rushes, 34 yards. I like that. I think Bigsby needs the ball more. A.J. Brown, he got the ball early, 7 catches, 50 yards. So it's clear they can lose one guy. Devontae only had 1 catch. A.J. had as many catches with the 7 as the rest of the team. He had 11 targets. It was an appease A.J. game. I got to be honest. Offense, not quite as explosive with it. Same basic results. And A.J. was making some huge plays on big third downs. I think they made clutch plays. And I got to be honest, right when the Lions tied the game, right when the Lions looked like offensively they could do something, and right before halftime, I mean, they just went right down the field, orchestrated their best drive. You saw Saquon running it tough, getting inside. Bigsby used a little bit more. The A.J. passes start working, and them get a touchdown, right? Like a tush push, but Saquon, I thought he got in regardless. There's a part of me, I can't lie to you guys, I think they're just trolling. I still think it. Every time we see them in a situation, except for the Giants game, when they need to score, right, when they're not up and they're not, that Broncos game they were up in the malaise, they score. Buccaneers, like, all right, we need points early. They go get them. Rams, down 26-7. They go get them. Now, I would love to watch them be a well-oiled machine. Maybe Patullo isn't that good. Maybe and that's very possible. I mean, he calls a lot of dumb stuff. But I do think there's a mandate of just don't turn the ball over. Make the other team beat you. And again, over 2 weeks, you look, the other quarterbacks, 2 turnovers total, right? Goff, again, only turned over once. Your quarterback, 1. Your team, no fumbles, right? I gotta knock on wood. But, like, these are the things that they're doing. This is how they want to play. Now what's silly is at the end of the game, I think Sirianni gets bored of it. And he's like, I want the offense to get some momentum. But they tried to tush push. It didn't work. I didn't like it, obviously. You're up 10. Let the defense just ride it out, specifically because your center was just walked off the field off of the last tush push that you didn't get. But whatever. I do think it's interesting, too. Sirianni, heads up coaching. Hey, Steen, if someone's beyond the line of scrimmage, you can reach across. By the way, guys, I appreciate you listening at this point. My voice is a wreck right now. We karaoke on Friday. I sang Sunday, yelling about the Birds. And we drink a little bit when they score. So we're fighting through it. But as I'm looking at the rule, I've never seen that before. I've never seen offensive linemen just reach across. And like what he did was he was like tapping the ground and tapping him, signaling he's past the line of scrimmage. And look at it like this, like the way I thought of the rule, how Rodgers would snap and then you jump off sides and then you move like that. It's like a different iteration of that. A bunch of the Eagle fans I was with, they were mad. I'm going to be honest, and the refs had their moments, and then they gave us pass interference, but the refs are always bad in our games. All these holding. That's another thing why the offense can't get started. We're in like 1st and 20, 2nd and 25 all the time, guys, all the time. So it's hard to get an offensive flow when the refs are actively against you. But in that situation, they were mad at the refs. I'm like, guys, I've never seen that, called like that. So I think that they did that. National TV, show it. Now the conversation is the opposite of the tush push, and it didn't work. But now it's the opposite of, hey, you're offsides. If I'm doing that, that's what that means. You make it a story. Sirianni gets upset about it, furious. You got to punt the ball. He's yelling at the refs, and the fans are yelling too. It's in Philly, so they're booing, making a scene about it. I'm telling you, I never thought of it being called like that. I never have seen that happen. I'm 29. I've been watching football since I was 4. You know what I mean? On my parents' laps, and I never saw a play like that. So that's something that's new. They wanted to make it known, and it was. But, yeah, hopefully next game, go back to Devontae a little bit more. There are some drops out there, too. Got to drop. But it was just a sloppy game. You want the offense to be better. I get that. Maybe I'm getting soft, right? Maybe Super Bowl ring and just them making 2 has made me a little soft. I think they're trolling a little bit, and I can't get up in arms about what they do. They go right when they need to. They take the lead. Even on one play when the Lions got down the field, Hurts came out, ran to the sideline, and threw just a beautiful 43-yard pass. Just something that Goff can't do because he's not mobile, doesn't have the arm strength, and was cold. And he hits that pass, and it just flips field position. You punt the ball. Oh, by the way, Jake Elliott, amazing game out of Jake. I wish my voice could go higher because I'm so excited. Jake Elliott was amazing. That kick at the end of the game, 49 yards, it's cold, it's windy, to hit that, to go up 10, to really give yourself distance, and it really put all of us at a little ease for at least, it was like fourth quarter, 9 minutes left. But that's all we want. We just want to see some drives, some first downs. I'm even okay with field goals right now, and they were able to kick 3 field goals. I can't hate it. Let's see where the Detroit defense is because we haven't talked about that. I think their defense, again, we're playing another one of the top defenses in the league. And the reason I can't quite get up in arms, Detroit's 10th in defense, 21 a game. That's a top 10 unit. You want to be a little bit better against them. They average letting up 22. I think a lot of it's pace as well. We want to play slow. But, yeah, only scoring 16 against them. Not great. But, guys, these are the teams, by the way. We've played all these teams. By the way, Eagles right now, 8th in defense. They were, like, middle of the pack most of the year. They're already up to 8th. That's crazy. I remember most of the time they were at 18th. But we've played all these defenses. Rams, 2. Broncos, 3. Chiefs, 4. Packers, 7. Detroit, 10. And this screenshot was taken before last night's game, so their defense obviously got a little bit better. But guys, like, and by the way, your right tackle keeps leaving. Detroit, 6th best in the league in sacks. They were still it felt like well protected. Detroit, 8th best run defense, 8th best pass defense. This was a tough team that we were playing, and we out-toughed them yet again. we all thought, I think our offense needed to be more explosive because of the Detroit offense. The Detroit defense came into play as well as our defense did, but they're not as good as our defense. But Hutchinson was out there tracking them down. This dude Hunter they have in the back end, number 12, he was making annoying plays. But all in all, a win is a win, guys. Huge win. Go Birds. I love to see it. We want the offense to be better. Maybe Patul will be out by the end of the year. Who knows? Hopefully he gets better and improves. But at the end of the day, the defense right now, you got to see it going forward. We'll see what happens. But for this 2-week stretch, I'm not saying going forward, I'm not saying for the playoffs, but for this 2-week stretch, that defense since getting Jalen Phillips has been dominant and the best in the NFL. And I'm interested to see what they do in a dome, not in cold weather, against the Dallas Cowboys next Sunday. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please watch some of the other videos on the site. I've created a playlist with each and every football team, and every week we will be going over those games. I'm really loving this, enjoying it, and hoping you guys are as well. Of course, like, subscribe, and if anyone wants to sponsor, we're looking for Lumia Sports Productions is looking for sponsors. Shout us out. We will shout you out during the video. Thank you guys again for watching. Have a great day. Enjoy.